West Virginia is the third poorest state in the nation. It's the second most rural state. And the people there are very isolated, both geographically, but also isolated in terms of the extreme propagandization, the extreme brainwashing that they're dealing with. And these are some of the reasons why West Virginia also leads the nation in opioids, in the opioid crisis and opioid deaths. And what I wanted to show here was I really wanted to show the importance of being of organizing with these people. I think that a lot of times, particularly in white organizing circles, people look at places like West Virginia, which is predominantly white and obviously very poor, as a throwaway, that it can be discarded as something that's already a foregone conclusion to the far right-wing extremism. But in reality, even if we look at something like the term redneck, which has been propagandized and twisted to mean something different in today's world, actually comes from a labor rights background. The term redneck was started by white and black mine workers who tied on red bandanas and marched together for basic workers' rights, and actually won basic workers' rights during the mine wars at the beginning of the 20th century. So it's really important to bring back this radical history and let it guide as we build and organize in our present day.
All right, good. Let me push you a little bit to go into some of the implications, if you like, of a film like this. One question that comes up often on this program is that given today's horrendous level of unemployment in the United States, that we can expect, given the way capitalism usually works, that employers are going to take advantage of the unemployment to cut wages, cut benefits, force workers to accept much worse conditions on the job for fear of losing the job, since it's so easy for an employer to pull people out of unemployment. Did you get a sense, either when you were producing this film or now that you think back on it, are we in for harder times everywhere? Is the rest of the country's working class, in a way, about to experience what may have already been the reality in West Virginia?
Yes, and I think you made a great point there. The idea of West Virginia being that microcosm, and the importance of recognizing that labor rights organizing is the antidote and the answer to the coming issues that we're going to face. But absolutely, and the thing that they've done in coal country and now in fracking country as well is really hold that over people's heads. Like, well, you have to have these coal mines, you have to have these pipelines and these well pads and things like that, because what are you going to do without jobs? When in reality, as you've noted too, you could give people jobs doing anything. The idea that you'd have to give people jobs destroying the planet and their own bodies is really absurd, and it really just speaks to the oppressive nature of the capitalist system that places profit above people at every turn. And I think that West Virginia is that kind of that sign on the road that says this is what's up ahead for the rest of the nation in a lot of ways, and that really speaks to why it's so important that folks are organizing in places like West Virginia and beyond, with everything from the coming organizing around the general strike to really recognize that the workers are the ones who have the power, and this sort of pride and oppression that oftentimes happens in industrial towns like we see in West Virginia or Ohio or Kentucky or Pennsylvania, it really is a problem of propagandization. And we as organizers have a job to do in terms of breaking down that propagandization and recognizing and asserting the power of the workers.